All right, get ready. All right, should be live.
What's
Hello
up?
and
Hola,
welcome to the
How we doing,
KDB
baby?
show.
I'm
Billy's
back.
back.
All three
The
of
real
us,
star of the show.
the
Just
real
kidding.
star,
Wow.
the guy that brings the energy.
Yeah. Missed you guys. Missed doing this.
I miss you too.
Yeah, we missed you.
It's weird with just the two of us. Obviously, we have a harder time carrying it when
Yeah, I
you have
think
this uncanny ability to just
I pulp
riff.
toss the energy.
for hours.
Oh, yeah. About nonsense.
It's because he's an extrovert.
Yep, naturally.
That's it, baby. How we
So
doing?
tonight's episode, we're gonna do part two about white people phrases.
We know how much you guys love that. Um,
We know that was a real hit, especially with
Real
Billy's
hit.
wife.
man, I feel like you guys have really gone on and had a lot of great conversations about. I mean, I know you guys finished your discussions on Dispatch.
Yeah,
You guys have done your episode on Game of the Year where you did the Game Awards stuff.
we voted.
Yep, that's coming up in
It
8
did.
days, right? It is. So
Yep.
just after our next episode,
Oh, and
they'll announce that.
quick before we jump into the topics, because I know Billy's itching to talk about something tonight, but guess what? Even though it wasn't nominated on the official nominations, guess what was nominated for Game of the Year Player's Voice?
Dispatch.
Dispatch.
Oh,
So this one is all player, like this is all
What's the
people voted.
player's
So
voice?
this category, the player's voice, is not selected by
judges or
the judges or however
Oh,
it's
that's right,
selected.
because we looked it up, right? There's like
Yeah,
there's a
it
weighting
is.
system. Yeah.
It is. This category is compiled completely by the player's voice, and Dispatch is one of the nominees. So it still has a chance to win Game of the Year in that category.
I
So
feel like that might actually be the Game of the Year category. If
that's
it's
like,
the, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like the people are voting on it. Like I don't give a shit about a knighted judge, for their
yeah,
opinion. Because didn't we look it up? Isn't it like 30% is people votes, and then like the rest of the 70% is split amongst
like
judges, or
this like
it's something like that? But the
committee, like
yeah,
yeah,
but the votes that people submit, I think, have a much less than 50% chance or
yeah,
50% weighting in the overall calculation. So
yeah. And this one, the nominees and the results are entirely the voice of the people
did
for
it
that
make it to
category.
round two?
I don't know. I
Because
just
so I'm looking because I went to try and vote. Round one is already closed. There was 30 nominees. You could vote for 10. Next round two opens up December 4th. 10 nominees vote for five. And then round three is December 8th, and there's five nominees. You vote for one.
I feel like it would have made it to round two, at least. I mean, it was such a popular game for a while.
Yeah.
Dispatch round two game awards. So yeah, if let's see, if it did make it to round two, then I'd like to I'd like to
continue to
see
vote
that.
for it.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah.
that win. But we've already talked about Dispatch way too much for Billy's tastes.
Well,
So
you know what's funny is there's an indie game award,
yeah.
and this one gets really really weird because there's games that are nominated on there that have, I'm not joking, like all-time concurrent players. Like the most concurrent players that were ever playing is like 30. So it's like I don't know how you could objectively judge a game like that because like 50 people played it. Okay, so that one gets kind of funny, but
A couple
um,
episodes ago, we were talking about like the difference between the Game Awards and the Golden Joystick Awards. And I think we kind of came to the conclusion that the categories for Golden Joystick is actually better.
Yeah.
Like
Because
all
they had
around,
like the self-published.
it feels much more about games, and Game Awards feels much more just like kind of an advertisement,
audience, yeah,
you know?
that's literally what it is. It's marketing, and I think that's why it's weighted the way it is, right? The judges kind of pick and choose the categories. Like every year, there's games on there that you're like, why is that a part of this? And it's just
Yeah.
because
Like
just
Horse Girls.
sheer size, it was thrown on there, right? And Exactly. They sponsored the show, so they got included in the waiting, and I'm sure there's a lot of fun stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
um,
So since you weren't here, did you have a different opinion as far as game of the year? What you would vote for? Did you want me to read them off again?
no, it's Expedition 33 for me.
Okay.
Even though I didn't play it, and honestly, I don't know too much about the game. I know kind of how the gameplay style is, and it's not seemingly like a game that I'd be crazy into, but the reverence in which I hear people talk about this game, and it kind of hit that sweet spot, and I think it kind of launched
Yeah.
this year into Double A Studios really kind of popping off. Um, I think it has to be the winner for Game of the Year. I really do.
Yeah.
I think just from the excitement and the studio that it came from, and the impact that it had on this year, I think there's no question it wins Game of the Year. At least for me, that's sort of
It's one of
my
those
take.
games for sure that had a almost unique kind of impact on people in the last. I mean, we had three, I think, in the last 5 years, and I think it's been Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate, and Expedition 33. I think those have been like the three games that
Oh
have
yeah.
had that
It's
kind
like
of impact on gamers.
Yeah,
Which Jennifer English has been in all three of them. If Expedition 33 wins Game of the Year, that'll be her third game in a row that she's acted in. That's one Game of the Year.
she's
that's
like
amazing.
the what is it? Zoe, who plays Gamora in Avengers?
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe
Oh
Saldana,
yeah,
where
who's
she's in
in
Avatar.
Avengers, Avatar, yeah. Oh
What's that guy's name? That Troy Baker? Like she's the Troy Baker, right? Of voice
yeah.
acting, like
Troy
just
Baker's in
female
everything.
version. Yeah, right.
But now
Um,
it's all the Critical Role people. They're just in everything now.
Yeah,
Like Matt Mercer and all his friends. And what's her name? Oh God, who voices Invisigal?
Jennifer Hale?
No, that's
No.
Fem Shep. Who voices Invisigal? Why am I blanking on her name? She's in everything.
Laura
She's
Bailey.
Laura
There
Bailey.
you go.
She is in absolutely every like major game. She was in Last of Us. She was in Skyrim. She was in uh like obviously Dispatch. She did the Critical Role stuff. She there was like a big like kind of meme for a while because she's on that Critical Role. She was late to accepting her award at Game Awards for like performance of the year because she was playing D&D on Critical Role, and then she's like, "I gotta go," and like left and did that.
Of course.
But she's another one. But
Oh, so
Yeah, what we gonna say?
yeah, I was
I just
we
thought
got
of a
silent.
topic.
We were
I
like,
thought of a topic, but we can
before
talk
we
about Guild
derail
Wars.
it more, Billy's been waiting.
I know he's been
He's been
chomping
waiting.
at the bit.
So
Take the floor.
the first update to Guild Wars, not Guild Wars 2,
The
Guild
OG.
Wars in like 13 years comes tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And they're calling it Guild Wars Reforged. Um, it's like the lightest version of a remaster remake that you could possibly get, but I'm really excited at the implications of what this might actually mean because ArenaNet, the publishers of Guild Wars, have been teasing this concept of going back to their original game. And really, I mean, if we look at the industry as a whole, we have World of Warcraft Classic, right? We have these other games that have come back and relaunched their title as, a classic version of their game. RuneScape
RuneScape.
Classic, right? I mean, and they've been insanely successful because you have a group of people that fell in love with this IP and really want to go back to that world and want to go back to the days and when they were a kid and played these games. And so Guild Wars 1 is still up and running. Like you've been able to go and still play the game in its final state since Guild Wars 2 came out. I mean, it's still all the servers are still up and running. There's never been any downtime. Like you could still play the full game. and people have for the last 20 years now. So really what they're doing is kind of teasing. I think what they're really going to do is monitor how many people come back. So what is this Reforged? What does it actually mean? Well, they're coming in, they're fixing a couple bugs. They're coming in and they've completely I'm not going to say completely, but they've redesigned their audio to bring it to the 21st century. They have updated their visuals for large screen monitors because when people played this game in 2005, they had the 4x3 square block monitors and stuff. So now people have ultra wides and 4K displays. So they're going to do proper scaling of their game and stuff now, which has kind of been holding it back from bringing it to a modern audience. They're upgrading their skill icons to like a higher resolution so that they'll scale better. They're Steam Deck verified, so you can run it on very, very low hardware. And what does that also mean? You can actually completely play this on a Steam Deck. Like they're going to have a button map layout. There will be text and images on the screen with help text and stuff to actually use those buttons. They've like redesigned the intro and stuff like that to work with the Steam Deck, so you can run it on ultra low hardware. And not just the Steam Deck, right? Like you could play this game with a controller, right? So that's bringing in like a whole other audience as well that maybe doesn't want to play with a mouse and keyboard. You can now play on a controller. That really, it was like you could do it before and you can do some quirky button mapping, but now they have like a fully supported system that they're going to bring in and do. And then they kind of have poised this more to come. And so I really think, what does this ultimately mean? I think, like I said, they're going to monitor to see how many people are coming back. Right now I'm logged into the game. There's a shitload of people playing this game right now. Like every year people come back for Winter's Day because Guild Wars does Christmas so well. It's actually one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a game. Like the whole world changes, everything gets snowy. There's snow and everybody gets like, you can wear Santa hats and you can summon snowmen, and like Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 do Winter's Day events unlike any game I've ever even come close to playing. Like it's so far and beyond better than anything I've seen. And they do such an amazing job, and it's a lot of fun. So I think they're going to monitor how many people are coming back. It's already been a success. The people that I've seen that have re-downloaded the game and have already been playing it, because again, it's not like they're coming out with new maps, new content, new bosses, anything. No, they're buttoning it up and bringing it to a modern universe. And just that signal of, hey, like we're going to continue supporting this game, has brought back, I'm not even joking, probably thousands of players into this. I just before jumping on this with you guys, I went to a couple of the early on missions, the ones that we actually did a few months back, part of our playthrough. There's like 8 to 10 people in any one random of those zones. It's like 8 o'clock at night on the Pacific Coast, and it's like there's people playing this game in droves, and it's really excited to see. And I think they're teasing that there's more to come. What does it ultimately mean for Guild Wars 1? I don't think we're going to see like an overhaul of the game, or that they're going to bring it back and say, we're coming out with new content for it. No. I think what they're going to do is maybe make a couple more of these tweaks, maybe fix some bosses, maybe do an event. Maybe that would be crazy. But I think this is hinting towards the secret project that ArenaNet has been working on, which everyone is rumoring to be Guild Wars 3. And go ahead. Yeah.
Is this free if you own Guild Wars, or is this in like separate purchase?
If you own Guild Wars, let's say you only owned the first game. I bought you guys the full the trilogy, so you guys own all 3 games. If you only owned Guild Wars Prophecies, you actually now own all 3 games. They are giving you all 3 games. So you
in the Reforged?
In the Reforged. So just like there's no update, there's no purchase that you have to make. If you owned Prophecies, you just now unlock all 3 campaigns. It still does not give you Eye of the North, which I don't understand why they didn't do that, but whatever. Eye of the North is definitely their best, newest version of the game, and it definitely plays a lot cleaner and better, and the visuals are a lot better up there. But so whatever, they're just if you only own Factions or Prophecies, or you only own Nightfall, you get all 3 for free. So that's cool. Everyone gets that update for free. And no, there's no additional purchase when people log in after 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, Pacific time. You're going. Excuse me. You're going to be able to
So it hits tomorrow.
have access. Yes, it hits
That's the
tomorrow,
release
and
date.
I'm really excited because I'm going to be in pre-searing, welcoming new players, and just seeing how many people log on. Because right now, I mean, I've seen the subreddit's going crazy. People are like, it's the first time that they've heard anything about Guild Wars in 15 years. So they're like, oh my god, I used to play the game. I'm going to come back and check it out. Like it's really cool, and it just shows how much people love these older games. And this brings me to the sad part of the conversation, which is like, again, what does this ultimately mean? If I put on my realistic hat, Guild Wars 2 is their flagship MMO. There's no question about it. They have not done any updates, real updates, in, like I said, 12, 13 years for Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 2 has come out and seen 6, 7 expansions, whatever it is, multiple Living World seasons. It's still getting content updates now. They just launched a new expansion for it. So that's the game that they continue to support, and it happens to be still a top 5 MMO in the world. Why would you if anything that we've seen in the last 10 years, new MMOs fail, right? All of these big MMOs that come out that just shut down, the new worlds of the world, like you just studio after studio, that the Riot MMO that gets canceled, the content from the Ghost Studio that was like devs, ex World of Warcraft devs that went over and started their own thing and had a ton of promise and money, that got canceled. There's just been so many, even this year, there's been like 6 major MMOs that got canceled because they're very expensive to develop and they're really hard to build a community in because people just don't want new MMOs. That's just the reality. The live service model has worked in that people are sticking to the games that they bought into. And so this is when I put on my realist hat, because why would ArenaNet come out with a Guild Wars 3 if they have a top 5 MMO? Well, the reality is I think their revenue model is outdated and they're going to need a new revenue model and to earn and generate more money. And I think that that's the reality. And so I think Guild Wars 3 is going to come out and they're going to come up with, maybe it's going to inject a lot of new life and it's going to bring some new players into it. Maybe it'll be closer to Guild Wars 1 than it is Guild Wars 2, which would be really interesting. And maybe that's the play, that it's Guild Wars 3 is really Guild Wars 1 with some like modern day combat tweaks. I mean, if we could get Guild Wars 1 with Guild Wars 2's combat movement, holy shit. This might be a top 3 MMO, and I'm not even kidding. But with that, it's going to come a new revenue model, right? And so what does that mean? I mean, World of Warcraft just came out with player housing, which is like you can go in and build your own home and role play and do all.
Damn, they just came out with that?
They just came out with it after like 25 years, right? And guess what they launched with it? A new premium paid currency. So they launched the WoW token 10 years ago. You look like an angel there, Dylan. Nice. My screen's so bright when you go white, I just get lit up because it reflects on my face. But
don't mind me just playing with some stuff right now.
Yeah.
I am the floating head.
But yeah. So we have. You had the WoW token, which was you could spend real life money for gold in the game. And then people hated that. And a lot of people quit over that, but it's been insanely successful for them. And then the reverse of that, now we've seen, or in continuation of that, we've now seen the premium currency for player housing now. And it's getting, World of Warcraft is getting grosser and grosser. The industry, as games mature, we've seen, this is not unique to MMOs, like premium currency, like they know player psychology. Like it's a figured science. It's a figured out science. We know what works. We know what doesn't work. And so I have that fear that it's gonna be that route. But I still have hope that ArenaNet still has some values. Yeah, exactly. Like they have a good value set in how they want to make this game and we'll see. And again, I don't know what if this is going to be Guild Wars 3, what this ultimately all means, but like I guess I didn't explain. They hired a studio that was mainly comprised of Guild Wars 1 developers. They hired a studio to develop the changes that we're going to get live tomorrow at 11 a.m. So they're putting money into this game.
Do
And
you
they're
think
not.
this is like a final, like this is the last update?
No,
We're
because
done with it.
they part of it they said more to come.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they're teasing. And so what is that more to come? Is that Guild Wars 3? Is that more content in this game? If they came out with content in this game, like holy shit. But
A
I don't
full-fledged
really want that.
DLC,
Yeah,
like
right?
100 gigabytes. Like,
Guild Wars Utopia, the 5th expansion that was promised but they canceled.
Utopia.
I'd love that, but that's because I'm a Guild Wars 1 legacy player. What I would really want is Guild Wars 1 and Unreal Engine 5. That's what I want. And we know that the ArenaNet, the project that they're hiring for, whatever they're working on, is on Unreal Engine 5. So we're getting a game or something in Unreal Engine 5. Is that Guild Wars 1? Is that Guild Wars 2? I don't know. But more to come is interesting. And the fact that they hired an entire studio to build these things is very interesting and very exciting. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I don't like it. Like I said, is it a big? I know you looked at it and you're like it's less than nothing, and it really is. It's not like new content. They're just updating the game and adding a few quality of life things.
that's also a perspective
Yeah.
of people that aren't,
Sure.
excited for
Yeah.
it. So I mean,
Like it's different
that's-
because you've put
that's
how
how
many
I can
hours in, Billy?
imagine.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
How many hours have you put into Guild Wars?
Guild Wars 1, I have over 5,000 hours, and in Guild Wars 2, I have like 4,000.
It's imagine to give you an idea of how we feel. It's like when we go to you and we're like, there's a Cyberpunk update, and like you're like, wow, they added more clothes. Like that's
We're like,
that's what it felt like looking at it.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly As a tangential fan, I just posted my Guild Wars 1 hours in our chat. That's just Guild Wars 1.
God damn. 5,152.
Over 232 months. So almost
That's
20
crazy.
years old. My count is
5,000 hours. Wow. Speaking real quick of Cyberpunk, because I sent this in the Discord and I didn't get any response. I meant it for you, Kyle. Did you see
Imagine that.
the link I sent as far as what they had I think it was a stockholder update or something like that.
Oh, I looked at
No.
it. This was such
I'll-
a while
I'll
ago. Refresh me.
refresh. So the big meat and potatoes of it essentially was that they confirmed Night City is going to return, but there's going to be a Chicago-like city.
Okay. Yes. No, I did. So, and I was watching a podcast with Mike Pondsmith, the creator of, this universe.
Yeah.
And he said it's in a
Of
Chicago.
Cyberpunk universe.
He's God.
He created this universe.
Yeah. But he said that it's in a Chicago gone wrong. It's not Chicago, but that's like the inspiration. And it's gonna take place nowhere near the West Coast. It's gonna be the like northeast, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Well, but part of it was saying that Night City's gonna be back as well.
It'll be back, but that's not the main area. The main area is gonna be in that Chicago. I imagine it'll be like how in Witcher 3 there was the main area, but there's also that part that was in Skellige,
Yeah.
So I think there'll be multiple maps, is what it is.
So I saw theories, or not theories, but people guessing that like what this means is that they were able to probably port over a lot of the assets to Unreal Engine 5 from Red Engine,
Yeah.
and that's why we have the two cities. But we'll
Do you
see.
think, I mean, how difficult would it be for them to remake Night City ground up with a new engine? Like, how much time do you think?
That would probably
don't-
take a lot of time.
I'm not a developer, so I
Yeah.
don't know what that encompasses, but I do know that Unreal 5 seems to be a very developer friendly engine because everyone's using it and they're making good stuff with it. Though I do have a minor complaint about that. I don't like how all games look the same now because of Unreal 5 being so popular. They all, I feel like, look very like they all look like the same game. I don't know if that's just me.
I kind of feel ya. I've seen stuff like that online. The one comment I want to throw out there that I saw that made sense to me is they don't have to look the same, but that's just like developers aren't putting in the time to fully mess around with how the art style looks. Like they can customize that, but for some reason they aren't, is what I saw. And I don't know if there's any truth to that. I don't know if you guys have any opinion on that, but I thought that
Well,
was interesting.
if you're using their assets from their library, then yeah,
Yeah,
there's gonna be similar theme. I think actually the bigger culprit of that, everything being developed on Unreal 5, is actually how the game feels from like a gameplay standpoint, because the physics and stuff, the way that the engine renders that stuff is probably going to be a lot more aggregated to a very similar feel. But the art assets itself, like from a stylistic standpoint, as far as I'm concerned, and the way I understand Unreal Engine 5 to work, is you can load in whatever assets you want. It's just if you're using their sort of standard library and going with their sort of realistic look and stuff, then then you're going to be funneled into more of
then it
a
looks samey.
similar. Yeah, it's going to look the same. But I always felt like the more obvious thing that was going to happen, and I think we've seen this a lot, is like Unreal Engine. You almost can feel when you're playing an Unreal Engine 5 game because it feels like Fortnite. I mean, ultimately, that's really what it feels like. It feels like that sort of a that style of movement.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I
Mhm.
mean
Bubbly.
like Dune and then Expedition 33 and like I feel like when you look like the character models and everything just look very similar. And something a lot of indie games are using it now too. And I was watching someone play Expedition
Those ones are gonna be the
33.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching someone play Expedition 33, and this is not a knock on that game. We'll get into that later on. I've been replaying it, but uh, the guy that was playing it, he was like, "This reminds me a lot of Only Up." And I was like, "What?" And then I started thinking about that game was developed in Unreal 5, and the character moves a lot like the characters move in Expedition 33. And I was like, "Oh
I
my
can see
God,
it.
he's right. It feels like Only Up."
Especially
See,
they have
They have
the
like Only Up
sections.
style puzzles in that game too. And that's 100%. It wouldn't feel as bad if it wasn't using like the exact same like movements and character model type stuff.
So
that's kind of what I'm talking about. Is the
yeah,
actual gameplay, yeah, effects of that.
the physics.
Yep.
What do you think about the assets, Kyle, that like Billy was touching on, where they're using the same assets?
I haven't really, for me, it's been more of like a feel thing,
More
like
the
how
okay,
games
not
feel.
the
So I
physical
haven't
look.
really, yeah, I haven't. I do think that there's definitely like you can look at Unreal 5 and be like, that's an Unreal 5 game. Like you can tell by the
Uh-huh.
way it looks. But I haven't noticed anything that's just like outright egregious or anything. I will be interested to see how Witcher 4, when that comes out, how that's gonna like show what you can really do because I know CD Projekt Red's gonna push that into areas we haven't seen it
Tweak the
utilized
assets
yet.
and like make
Yeah.
it,
Especially with how much cross promotion they're doing, Unreal and CD Projekt Red, which is super weird. They must Unreal must be aware of like what they're doing and what they're like. This is gonna really sell us.
that also reminded me, I don't know, I mean, it's not really too much news because I was kind of expecting it anyways, but around Witcher, they also announced that it's going to be the first game of a three-part series.
And they said that they're actually developing them simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
They're all gonna release within a 6-year time frame.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Um, yeah. I'll believe it when I see it.
That's what they said. You got to believe them, they
Uh-huh.
have a good track
They have a
record.
track record of releasing on time. How late was the Witcher 3?
Witcher 3 was It was fine. It was one time, all right?
Once.
Cyberpunk ruined it forever.
They'll never
No,
recover.
I think that's
You know what's
cool.
funny? Cyberpunk was announced. They had an announced trailer that came out before Witcher 3 even came out. They
That's
had one in
unbelievable.
2013.
At E3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when E3 was
That's
alive.
insane. I think I like that. I'm so partial to when games get greenlit for a full vision, or even just media, like Lord of the Rings, right? That's kind of like the lens I look at everything. I think you can really build out a great story arc if you know that you're going to be fully funded for, X, Y, and Z. And I think with this, having the vision and knowing you're going to be able to make these kinds of games, it's kind of interesting to me because it sounds like it's a live service model without pricing itself like a live service model. You're going to sell you a full fat game and then have decided upon content drops, right? They might do one DLC per game at certain intervals, and then they're releasing these three games over, these 6 years. So you're gonna say, so like year one, year three, and year six, right? And so then you're gonna get one DLC in between each of those, and so it's almost like a live service roadmap that they're providing.
Right.
Um,
That would be my
it's
concern
interesting.
is if they do release so rapidly like that you're getting like maybe one game and two DLC that they're selling as a game. That's not really like something CD Projekt Red I would think. I don't think that would be their approach, and that's not something they'd ever done in the past. But it looks like it's dangerously close to being something like that if they're not careful.
This is what those stockholders want, you know?
Yeah, those Polish
Technically, I
stockholders.
mean, who do they even report to? They're solely owned,
Poland,
right?
right?
I mean, Poland. Like, what
Oh,
is?
yeah,
No, they're a publicly traded corporation when I checked last, unless they've changed that.
I
Oh,
think they
you're
are
right. You're right. They'd have to be because of the whole Cyberpunk debacle.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only reason
um,
they released the game.
because
that's
they promised
unbelievable.
shareholders or told
And it,
shareholders.
I don't know. That's a whole thing. How many times have we beaten that? I was gonna start talking about that, but we've beaten that horse to
Yeah.
death. But yeah, I don't know. I hear that and it sounds like a live service roadmap, and it'll be interesting because I know you guys are such big fans of the DLCs that The Witcher comes out with. So it'll be curious to see if they have, planned DLC or if they're just going to launch it like included with the title.
As much as
I don't know.
I still think that Blood and Wine is probably one of the best expansions ever made for a game. As much as I believe that, I would still be disappointed if that was released as a whole game. It could
That's
have
what I'm
been.
saying. Yeah.
It could have been a whole game, but when you compare to what we got with Witcher 3, it's not on the same level.
Right. And so are they going to forego, since they know that they're only going to do three games and they want to price each content? Well, I mean, they still sold Blood and Wine, and it was probably, what was it, $25? How much was that expansion? 15,
I think Blood
25,
and Wine was like 20.
20?
Um, I can't remember. I bought the season pass or whatever, the package that had both, but
And then also, how is it sold? Is it called like Witcher 5, Witcher 6, but it all takes place in one world? So like it's the same game,
it's so the first
and
three was
then
Geralt's trilogy. This one's gonna be Ciri's trilogy, which Witcher 3 was kind of like a Ciri game too, but
yeah.
this one uh it's gonna all be Ciri.
Right, but is it
Like
like
the
what?
same, like Spider-Man 1 and 2. It's the same game world.
Yeah, like are you set in that world and then your character, kind of like Mass Effect, like where
Oh, I
I guess
imagine that choices will carry over
choices
into
carry over, and then also would your character carry over? Like so you would be level 50 in the next game, and then
that.
you would
I'm not
play.
sure. I I don't know about that. I know that choices would carry over. Progression, I feel like would not.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. Who knows? But I don't think because they've never done that in the past.
But wouldn't it be cool? Like this is the MMO in me, I guess. But wouldn't it be cool? Like in Witcher 6, there's like a it wouldn't be
You're like
online.
level
It wouldn't be
150.
online. I would want it to be online. You're like level 150, and you've got such a overpowered god character
Which
that
series
you're
is?
like, which Siri is, right? And you're fucking like you're doing like raid level content where you're taking down like monolithic bosses and you're doing like crazy shit because you've kind of progressed this character through the campaign.
That would be cool, but that is so
Not them.
not Witcher. Like that
Yeah.
is Witcher is not high fantasy. It's not like it's very like dirty, like street level fantasy. You know, like
Well, but what if
um,
there's a monster that, or what do they call them? What are the bad guys called? Like what do the Witcher fight? Ghouls, ghosts. What's the
well, like all
This
the different
demons? They're
monsters.
demons.
Snow
Are they
March?
demons?
We're talking
the
about
s-
the
No, like
Deathmarch?
what's the enemy type? I guess
the Wild
that
Hunt. The game is literally
The
called
Wild Hunt.
Wild Hunt.
no, like they're called like
There's
What
like
fiends, wraiths? I mean, there's so
thralls.
many different monsters.
Yeah.
are they like do they fall into the category of like demon? Like are they fighting like
There's not like
Witchers
demons.
seek out
Monsters.
demons or
There are not.
monsters.
There
they're
aren't
just
Balrogs.
monsters?
There's
Okay.
Yeah.
not like. It's not like you're gonna. There's not like kaiju like in The Witcher.
There's not like
There's-
a in the deep books buried in wherever the
There's-
fuck the in the vaults of the Witchers. There's not like some fucking archetyped monster that's just OP as shit, and
no.
Geralt's got to use or Ciri's got to use every.
Well, I mean that
learned
was
the most
ability,
OP,
the Wild
the
Hunt.
most- yeah, but the most OP monsters in the universe are higher vampires, which are not what
Okay.
you
They're
have in your
not.
mind. Yeah, like
Damn.
I mean,
I don't know.
and I don't know if they, we'll see how they go, but like Siri, she can to give more ammo for you, Billy. Siri can go between the spheres or whatever they call it, right?
Dimensions or something.
Yeah, so she could go to a dimension with giant kaiju.
There you go.
but
I don't know, I
she
just-
can't because
I love-
they powered her down at the end of Witcher 3. Her doing what she did at the end of Witcher 3, that's how they're explaining her being significantly weaker in Witcher 4. So she can't do that anymore. So there
But
goes.
maybe by the end she can.
All right, I'm just gonna say it. If I'm
That's not
fighting a-
fucking happening.
If I'm fighting a kaiju as Siri, I'm fucking dropping it. That does not sound like any kind of game I want in my Witcher universe.
And not that The Witcher did this because their leveling experience was actually pretty chill. I just what I don't want is to like have to relearn how to use a fucking sword every fucking game. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I want to be able to. It's
Well-
like okay, I'm fucking Siri. I'm a leveled. I'm a fucking wizard basically. Like
I
we're
hate-
fine.
With sequels and stuff. They haven't done it as much, but where they have to try and explain why you're weaker all of a sudden, it's like, oh, he got
Yeah.
shot. Oh, and then he's recovering. I thought who did a really good job of it, honestly, Spider-Man 1 and 2, because you keep the same upgrades from the first Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2. A lot of them, not all of them, but I thought that was a good way of progression of starting you back at level 1, but not really making you feel like you got nerfed.
I feel that way honestly about Witcher 3. Like Geralt, even in the beginning, you clearly don't have as much unlocked as you do towards the end. Geralt never felt like level 1 dude. Like he never
True.
felt like a novice. I think for me, because you didn't never really played the first one. The
Yeah, I
game
didn't
that
play.
well, I said that prematurely. I was transitioning to a different game.
Oh.
But
Shut
the
the fuck
game-
up, Dylan.
a game that
Yeah.
does that really, really well is Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 going into 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, when the game starts, you already feel very confident, even though you're like level 1 and you still have so much to grow. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, it's brutally difficult to level up in that game because you can't do anything. You're the most peasant of peasant dudes. Like you can't even read. And Kingdom Come 2, uh, it was totally different because they took into account the fact that you had learned all that stuff in the first game. And so it was much more user friendly or welcoming than the first game. And I think they handled that. There was no like depowering at the end of the first,
Hmm.
or anything like that. They
I
handled that
got
really well.
shot in the arm.
But
Well,
I know that the idea behind that, especially for Dylan, because he loves his kaiju stuff, but I
I
would be fucking disgusted if that was in the Witcher universe.
no, I wouldn't want to.
It turns into Final Fantasy 16 or whatever. Like,
Now that would be sick. No, I'm kidding.
no, no.
Um, the only excuse I would give, the only where I would feel, okay, that's cool. You set up the whole story, right? Witcher 6. Ciri has to pull some fucking kaiju from um another dimension to attack a
Kaijus,
fortress.
Kyle. This is why you
Well,
want.
no, I'm just saying to attack some fortress or something that she needs help with.
Uh-huh.
That's my only time I'd be okay with it. I
Like
wouldn't
just
want
a
to fight it.
brief moment where the
Yeah,
kaiju
where she
comes
like
in
That
and
could
brings
does
just
it
be
the
in
like
to like
thing.
a.
fuck people up.
It'd just be like an end game mission that you could do like repeatable content and get. That's how you farm up some of the loot for some of like the end
All
game
right,
armor,
now it's
right?
turning into an
Like
MMO.
legendary armor.
No, this
Hey,
is
I
not
farmed the legendary armor in Witcher 3, and
because
you had to fucking kill drakes in a faraway island for fucking an hour and a half. So.
because you played it like an MMO. If you'd have just played through, you get all that stuff naturally by beating the game.
I
And you
needed
Impossible.
the armor.
no, I think both of your ideas are terrible, and I'm getting upset.
Okay, let me share this with you guys because this is interesting. Right now, The Witcher 3 is on sale on Steam. It's the bundle. So, The Witcher 1, Witcher 2, and Witcher 3 for $7.62.
Damn,
Like
that's a
The
good
Witcher
deal.
3 is $4.
Does that come with the
And
expansions or no?
no, it does not come with expansions. If I want just Witcher 3 with the expansions, it's $10. So that would come with Wild Hunt, Blood and Wine, and Hearts of Stone. It's 80% off right now.
Honestly, if you have never played the series, that is a hell of a deal. And I would encourage anybody who is thinking about trying it to do that for 10
Let me
bucks.
let me ask you this. Does it make sense to go back, like if you had your choice to go back and play Witcher 1, 2, and 3, or just Witcher 3 with the two expansions, which would you do?
I would rather just play Witcher 3 with the two expansions.
Okay.
Uh, unless you're like really deep into that universe and you're like just want to soak in that lore, you'll find that 9 out of 10 players are going to be more satisfied with just Witcher 3 and the expansions than playing Witcher 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, because I mean, Witcher 1 came out in 2008. That game's
It's a
probably
little
gonna
rough.
play pretty rough,
Well,
right?
not only then, that was when the studio was full indie. So it's if we're being honest with ourselves, it's really not even that good a game. Like Witcher 2 was a significant leap. But then Witcher 3 was an even more significant leap from Witcher 2. So like Witcher 2 is a little bit more digestible if you go back and play it, because I did. But it's still Witcher 3, it blows the first two games out of the water. The only reason you'd even go back to play those is if you're just that hardcore of a fan. Totally not needed though. You could get like a quick summary of what happened in 1 and 2 and then be totally fine for 3. And I think that's what Dylan did actually.
Yeah. Well, I watched the show first.
Yeah, what a weird guy. He was not he didn't play it when it was
It's
one
right
of
up
the
his fucking alley. Yeah.
biggest like hype things ever in 2015. Didn't touch it.
Yeah. And then I watched the show and I'm like, that seems pretty good.
You're probably the only one that the show converted.
I don't think so. There was a big bump.
Yeah, of like returning players probably, but I don't know, man. That show was ass. Like I fucking played the game dude, season 1 was as confusing as Firefly, dude. They fucking aired them out of order, seemingly, but it was part of the theme of the show. It was hella confusing.
Yeah,
You're
well,
talking to someone who died last episode, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
so what exactly happened was because the first season was so garbage with how the order was and like they didn't explain anything, that caused me to look up on my phone the
Oh,
lore to
strategic.
understand it. And then once I started to see the lore, I'm like, dang, this shit's actually pretty cool. And then I'm like, dang, they got a
Oh,
video
God.
game?
They have a video game.
What is this?
What's this? I've never heard of this. No, I heard of it,
Okay.
but no, yeah, the lore is what really hooked me because trying to understand the show made me start to look into the lore, and then I was like, wow, this is dope. Like, maybe I should give the game a shot.
I'll never forget when Dylan went through his first playthrough. We were working together, and he had told me, he's like, "Yeah, I'm finally giving it a shot." And I was like, "Oh, you mean you're playing it again?" He's like, "No, I'm playing it for the first time." And I was so like dumbfounded. I was like, "What? You've never played it?" It was because at that point we had established like all our things
Yeah,
that we had in common.
yeah.
Yeah,
That when he said
Mass
he'd never
Effect.
played, yeah, when he said he'd never played Witcher, I was so baffled that he had never done that.
Like, what?
Well,
It
so
was,
let me.
this was
So
like
I just
2020 at this point.
So I just bought Witcher 3. I just bought the complete edition, so I have all the
Okay.
DLCs. My question to you guys is, one of the things I don't like about coming, because I will have forgotten everything about Witcher 3. Can I accidentally stumble into the DLC content?
No.
No, they
Or
make it pretty
it's only at the
clear.
end? Okay.
Because the missions that are DLC, it'll like have a headline above it, like I'll say Hearts of Stone or Blood and
Okay.
Wine, and so you'll know that you're
Okay.
doing that. It'd be, I don't see how you could.
Even if I'm spam skipping all the text and stuff, like I couldn't.
I mean, knowing you, probably you could.
I'm now in the
Not
end
reading
game,
it.
boys. This is level
you're
2.
if you're playing Witcher, like for anything other than like the world and the story, then I don't know if you're
You're
playing it for
doing it
the right
wrong.
reasons. Yeah,
Playing it for the
because
combat.
I'm playing it for Gwent, okay?
yeah, the gameplay in Witcher is, I would say adequate, but it's not like it's, this is third person action.
It was great at
It's
the time, but yeah,
yeah. But
no,
like
it wasn't.
especially even when you compare it to like FromSoft games or other like third person games of that style, it's not as good. I don't know if you agree with that, Dylan.
I do. It's well, like I said, the lore is what hooked me, and that's what kept me hooked the whole time. Is this I really like how the world's set up, and I mean that's why it's such a popular game and it became a popular show. Same reason. The lore is really well written and interesting to me and a bunch of people.
The game's 10 years old now, and like graphically, I mean, there's a few things that like ages it, especially like when you look at like some of the character models and stuff. But a lot of it still looks beautiful for how old the game is. It's crazy.
Well, the cool thing is on Steam, there's like 30 things that are free. Look, I can add an alternative look for Yennefer. I can do
Oh
a
yeah,
Yep.
they released
Skellige armor set for
they released
free.
so many free DLC when that game came out. It was crazy. I remember it was the
There's,
first game I played that did that, and I was like, "This is the CD Projekt Red is amazing."
huh?
Oh,
Yeah, all that stuff was free at launch. It's not like it's free now. It's always been free, which is really cool.
That
They
is
did
really
that.
cool.
was that like when patches came out, they'd release that?
Yeah, it was like
Like
kind
how
of like
Cyberpunk
Baldur's
does,
Gate or Cyberpunk. Like every time there was a patch, they released something. Like
like a goodie.
for new outfit, yeah, like a little something.
Like, and by the way, here's a little candy.
Yeah, here's 5 new hairstyles for Geralt. Have fun. Like
Wow.
incredible,
And that
greatest
with their
developer ever.
with their customer base. Oh my God, I'm playing a new character. I have new hair. Hell yeah, I'm back.
Photo mode.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I just downloaded. I've had a huge
I
balance
hope
in my Steam account, so
I hope you get to finally play the expansions.
yeah, I'm not really caring a shit about that, but I'll probably check them out if I get to the end. It's like an 80-hour fucking campaign, so I
With
just
all the
remember,
expansions, you could easily
Wow.
put 100 hours into it.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I remember I had a poster of The Witcher 3, and I loved it because basically you're fucking fighting Sauron at the end on the boat. Like I'll never forget that fight. That fight was tough. I died a couple times, and you're like going back and forth in just his mechanics, and then you're like, there's like a wintry area that you're fighting him on the base of, and you're like running around trying to like aggro him and get him to get in this position. I just remember struggling with it so much because he was it was just a really good fight, and I enjoyed it. So that boat fight at the end, that was pretty cool.
Very cinematic for sure, that game.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about going back and doing another playthrough. It's been a long time. Probably close to like 5 years.
Been thinking about doing a Cyberpunk, but no.
Oh God.
I've I've done more Cyberpunk playthroughs than I did Witcher, and I loved Witcher. I did like maybe 4 or 5 playthroughs of
Witcher's got New Game Plus, right?
Yeah,
Oh, they do.
Cyberpunk
Huh?
doesn't.
Cyberpunk never got it. I just play it from scratch every time. And then I was doing it where I was playing it from the DLC launch because I didn't want to do all the intro. And then I
Skip
was like,
over the brain
yeah,
dance. Ugh. The thing is, though, if you do that, Kyle, you miss out on the iguana.
that's the only.
And I
And
can't. He never hatches. But
the my favorite katana, the Satori, you only
well,
get that.
you can buy it from that guy.
You didn't used to be able to buy it.
Yeah, they updated where you can get it from that merchant now.
Well, I never knew that shit.
But the
I don't
iguana,
I don't buy things in Cyberpunk. I
what are you
literally just
talking about?
I loot.
I
I
loot,
don't think I've ever
sell.
bought a single gun in that game. Every gun
My
I've ever
last
had has been
playthrough
burned.
was trying to build the wall, like in the stash.
Oh yeah, that's where we
So
differ as gamers. I've been a collector. My
I was
wall's
like, I'll
always
do it
empty.
this time, and then I haven't played it in a couple months. And I didn't do it. Expedition 33, Kyle. You want to talk about
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I don't know. What is there to say that hasn't been said a million times
You gave
over?
it another shot.
We've talked about these generational defining games, but I have been going through Expedition 33 again because the first time I played it, it never quite grabbed me. Like I was having fun, but I never got out of Act 1. Um,
So we
this time I have been, and
talk about the story
it's
first.
winning me
What you were
over.
saying before we started.
Story, honestly, so it's unique. It's interesting. And I've already like spoiled like beginning to end for myself. Like so I'm not surprised about any of that. It's definitely like you can tell like okay, this is JRPG inspired kind of like storytelling because they don't like give it to you outright. There's a lot of like confusion about what's going on. It's convoluted at times.
Hmm.
It can be beautiful, and like the whole concept of like the Gomage and the Paintress and like this world that's just created and all of that, and whether or not it's good, like is ignorance really bliss, or
Hmm.
should we like is it better to die knowing the truth or just be happy, that type of thing. So all of that is like really good. I think that the glaze is a little bit much sometimes on
The
Expedition
glaze.
33. Yeah, like
What do
I
you mean
feel
by
like
that?
The people sim to
people,
it.
yeah, people sim to it
Oh, I
hard.
get. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. I
Um,
mean, I can't wait to hear your opinion on the end because to me, I thought they were building up a really good story and then they dropped the ball for me at the end.
yeah,
So
so
I can't wait to hear your
before I even
opinion.
get to that,
Yeah.
I think I think that I'm not a huge fan of the whole Game of Thrones bait and switch type thing where they introduce like this is the main character
And then
and then in the first,
end of the first
act
act.
they kill the main character. Now you have a new main character. And that's kind of like I call it the Game of Thrones thing because I've been salty about that ever since Eddard Stark got his head chopped off. That's ever since then I have not really appreciated that in storytelling. Like
Uh-huh.
maybe that's just me. Maybe my storytelling intelligence is low or something, but I want my characters to live through. Um, so that like I could see why that's powerful, but if it didn't really like sway me one way or the other. Um, because also I was like Gustav was like he was just about to kill himself
Yeah.
like a couple hours ago, I feel like. And now we're supposed to be sad that he's dead. Like I get it, you know. Um, and the overall story, I think it's like it's good, but it's not a 10 out of 10 for me. And then now as far as the ending goes, uh, your problem is like what did you expect out of the ending?
Well, my problem is that they build up these really cool philosophical issues and then totally disregard them. Like they don't even make it part of the topic of conversation of what's going on, right? So, I mean, spoiler alert for a game that's been out and it's in the Game Awards. Uh, the ending, there's two choices. It's either the painting, the whole world's a painting that these magic people can create paintings, Billy. And the ending is whether you kill the painting, like erase it, which has the real main character's dead brother, like a copy of him in the painting. So he's alive, a version of him is alive within this painting. Either you erase the painting and free yourself from grief, or you keep the painting and I guess the grief cycle continues because the main character, like her mom has an issue of leaving the painting, like she doesn't want to leave. And so it's like unhealthy, it'll kill her if she doesn't leave the painting. And same with your main character. And so my issue isn't necessarily that choice because I get that choice, but they build out throughout the game that like all these characters you meet that are in the painting, Lune, CL, they're people and they don't touch on that at all. Like that, okay, yes, Mael and Verso, they got family drama. Like the whole thing boils down to this family drama when it's like I was more interested in what's the ethics of completely deleting these conscious beings' existence.
Right.
Like they're fighting for survival. These entities that were created in the painting, they're fighting to survive. Why is that not a conversation that's had at all?
Yeah.
And that was my issue, is that
I
it just
think
they kind of
yeah,
brush over that and
I think overall the story has moments where it could be like profoundly beautiful in the way that it conveys things. But um for me, I think the problem all said and done, and I think maybe you might feel the same way, is it feels unsatisfying.
yeah,
Like
and it
I've
feels
like it feels like it never quite filled the hole that was created in the beginning.
well, and I feel like it, and this is just my opinion. Um, it feels like that ending is forced on you. Like you're forced to choose between two bad endings. When in reality, there's a lot more that like should happen because to give context, um, to you and Billy is right before the end, the father character is he has like he's like kind of okay minded, but the main reason he's the bad guy in the game is because he wants everybody to leave the painting because he knows it'll kill you if you don't leave. Um, but you beat him and you have a conversation where Mael, at that point, the main character says like, "Yes, Dad, I just want to stay in here for a little bit, but I'll leave." Like, like we have to let my brother stay alive. Like this is his last painting. It holds his soul. We have to keep it alive for him. Only for her to then completely flip on it at the ending and like by her choosing not to destroy the painting means she's going to stay in it forever. And I'm like, what
Right.
like it just feels like I was forced to choose between two bad choices when there should have been a lot more choices. Like,
More options.
yeah, why couldn't she have been
It is hard to kind of expect that out of an indie studio,
true?
you know. Um, so there's that as well. But I 100% agree with you. I think that some of the things that I would have liked to have seen maybe would only be accomplishable by a much larger budget and more time. And the fact that they were able to do this as as an indie game it is pretty incredible.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, so this is the part that Billy will get interested in. And I think this is the part he would like about the game. I've talked about it a little bit with him when I was originally playing it. Have you gotten your build be cracked yet, Kyle?
I'm not cracked because I see people online doing like 10,000 per hit, and I'm
Yeah,
not there, but I am getting to the point where I'm starting to feel pretty good every time I'm in a fight.
Billy, you would love their gear system and how that works because it works like your brain or how I imagine your brain works with these games. You can optimize the fuck out of it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have this damage cap, so you have to constantly be well not constantly be fighting with that, but you have to adjust for that, and then you have like combos you can set up. Like in order to beat this boss, he's a secret last boss. Um, I had to create a build to where I could one hit kill him because it was impossible. Like, if he hit you, if you didn't parry every single of his attacks, you'd die. So I had to do this build where I would kill him in one turn, and I did it, and it felt amazing because I did like over 1 million damage in
Oh,
one,
that's
and
so good.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh damn.
So that
So
leads me to my next part. Story aside, one of the main reasons why, another main reason why I think this game is really successful is the gameplay is hella addicting, at least to me. And I'm not really a turn-based kind of guy, but this is a unique take on turn-based that relies very heavily on parry and dodge mechanics. Um, so there's a lot of strategy in your build, your attacks, your approach to things, but also um, just your reflexes. It's rare that you play a game that incorporates both so flawlessly like that.
yeah,
And when you get off like a perfect boss fight where you've parried everything, you've just murked them, it definitely gives you like this satisfying of like, oh my God, like I'm so awesome.
it gives
And
you
it
like
makes
a
you want to
Dark
keep
Souls.
playing. Yeah, it's very similar, like that feeling you get, like Billy, if I were to put it into perspective, let's just say the first time you killed Radon,
Okay.
that's it's very good at replicating that feeling a lot. And so I that's the only way I can
That's
explain
that's
its
pretty
mechanics.
exciting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They can capture that because that's like the whole reason why Souls games works
Yeah.
because people get like super excited about how those feel. So
And then like Dylan said, if you're good at
build crafting.
creating build crafting, you can really get super OP in the
You
game.
can break the whole game.
In fact, I really do think I know that you kind of look at it and you're like thinking like I don't know if this is for me. I think that you would really enjoy it, Billy. Like,
you think
'cause
so, huh?
yeah, I don't think that you would really even pay attention in story, and you can skip cutscenes.
Yeah,
But when it comes to the
it's
gameplay, I think that this might be right up your alley.
it's a pretty cutscene light JRPG-ish game. Like versus like Final Fantasy, this one has it's not the same level at all.
Just because I know how much you love like just getting like those cracked builds and just like getting things off. I don't know how comfortable or warm you are to the idea of dodging and parrying, but you've done plenty of it in like Souls
Right.
games and stuff.
Yeah,
So I think it has that perfect blend of the dodge and parry and the turn-based style approach. I think might be right
Maybe
up
I'll have
your
to check it
alley.
out then.
Yeah,
I'd
I think
recommend it. And they have their characters. I don't know about you, Kyle. I really enjoyed how much thought was put into how each character, like their gameplay loop was. Each character has a different gameplay loop as far as how they operate during a battle. Like this one guy, Monako, right? He copies enemies' moves. You have to beat that enemy first with him in the party to get the move. But then he has this wheel, and depending on where the wheel is, it boosts certain types of moves. It's really hard to explain unless you have it in front of you. But like that's just one character, and it's a very complex system. But if you get it figured out and you get the right rotation down, it feels amazing.
And it's also it's complex enough to where I think you would get a lot of enjoyment out of it because the you don't just you can play it just spamming the same stuff over and over again, and you might get by okay, but the way that you could build characters and the skills are complex enough to where like you can really strategize on it. Yeah, it's almost like playing a tabletop RPG in game form, but just like a little bit more exciting than that. If that make I'm
I
trying to explain it in a way that would sell Billy on this, but I think I know you by now, your game style. I think you might enjoy this a lot.
so to give I don't know if this will sell it anymore to you, Billy, but to give a tangential story, there's this character Gorga. Gorga, is that her name, Kyle? The yeah. So you have access to challenge her pretty much after you meet her, and she's a really tough fucking boss. Um, I essentially beat the game though, or I'm close to beating it, right? And I wanted to beat her. So I spent like maybe an hour or two just bashing my head against the wall, trying to learn her parries and just like she was whooping my ass. And I was like, okay, whatever. Um, say like it was at that point that I found that build that has what the was the one hit kill build, and I built into that, and it was so satisfying. I went back to her and just demolished, and it felt so satisfying to, and I didn't have to do much as far as like I had to do a little farming to get certain gear pieces I didn't have, but like at that point in the game where it was all accessible to me. I just didn't have the knowledge of how I could put that together until I did research on it.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, obviously the world knows about this. They
Yeah,
don't need us to sell it to them.
you heard it
Um,
here.
but I am starting to understand why it's being received so well, now that I've committed more time to it than I did in the past.
It's got
Um,
Shadowheart, that's
yeah.
why.
First time I played it, I didn't even notice that.
A pitched up Shadowheart.
Yeah, but it's
They
basically it's just her voice.
Yeah. They have the same like semi-British accent,
The one that
kind
is
of.
blaring or glaringly obvious now is I went back and played Elden Ring after playing Baldur's Gate,
Uh-huh.
and every time her character in Elden Ring talks, it sounds identical to Shadowheart.
You're
It's
like, wow. Said it
it's
was the
that
sleeping.
the Albinauric woman that you like
Yeah.
have to carry with you to the snow valley of the snow top of the giants or whatever, and then her sister who's like for some reason a giant. It's that lady's voiced by Shadowheart, uh, Jennifer English.
So the thing I thought way back when I went, oh, I watched Stranger Things season 5,
Wow.
Part one.
part 1. Wow, you sound really
Any
excited about it, Billy.
any good?
I liked it. I've been a fan of the show. It took way too fucking long to get this new season, but Um, it's good. It's the best thing in my opinion that Netflix has besides K-pop Demon Hunters. Um, but no, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. They're doing 3-part release system. So part 1 is out now, part 2 comes out Christmas, and part 3 comes out New Year's Eve. And I kind of like that. Each part has multiple episodes. I like that more than just the weekly um new episode every week.
I wanted I want to be into it, man.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's just it was so stretched out, like it lost me. And I'm the kind of person that if I fall off of something, it's so hard to convince me to get back into it.
Maybe you
That's
could start now since it's all there now.
It's not though. We're still waiting
Well,
for part two.
until New Year's Eve. Uh,
Yeah.
can you believe it's been 10 years since it started?
Yeah, they're like 40 now. They're
The first
still
season was 10 years ago, but in the show, only 5 years have taken place.
It's a joke. Have they unveiled what the hell's going on in the world at all, or are they still fucking dragging everyone along? No
They've
reveal.
unveiled a lot more.
Okay.
There's still some mysteries in regards to like certain aspects of it, which you got to have, right, to keep the audience checked in. Um, but no, they've revealed quite a bit, like as far as the monsters and who the big bad is and stuff like that. How Elle kind of came about being made, like what's the deal with her? So they've explained some, but there's definitely still some mysteries, and I hope they explain them, but who knows if they will. This
one
is
thing
supposedly last season.
I don't know why I'm so salty about this, but I'm so tired of all these articles. I'm gonna sound like a hater, but, and that's okay because maybe I am a little bit. But all these articles talking about how Stranger Things is the greatest show that's ever, like, of all time. There's like
I
actually
don't know
people
about that.
claiming it that's the greatest show of all time, and I'm like, when did it earn that? Like, it's good television, but why are we talking about this like it's the greatest TV show of all time?
I think it's one of the best TV shows that Netflix has to
A
offer,
hundred
like
percent.
Netflix original. But best TV show ever? I don't know about that one, Chief.
So that's just my 2 cents. Maybe that's why I was turned off to the final season because I saw this article that this guy was just creaming over it.
Glazing it.
And I was like,
Did you ever get into it, Billy? I'm gonna guess not by your reaction.
No, I did.
Oh,
It's one of those
we
shows for me that's like, again, how long? It's been 10 years since they've been coming out, and we still are. They're still dragging ass as to like what's actually happening in the world, and they just keep hiding behind this cloak of, oh, it's mysterious, and like they'll raise 10 other questions and solve one, and it's one of those shows that I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like I don't like the mystery is over for me when 2 years in. I'm not 10 years and we're still talking about this shit. It's just that's what's kind of frustrating to me is, what is this world? Why are they here? What's the government doing? What are all these things? And it's just more and more mystery, more and more like the show's good. Like don't get me wrong, it's just I hate being strung along for as long as we have without any like definitive answers because I feel like that's not interesting writing. And remember, this show was never meant to answer any of these questions. It was
no.
only designed
The
to be there for season one.
what I can
And
say as somebody who's like currently watching it, enjoying it, you can definitely tell season 4 is when they were like, damn, we gotta come up with an ending to this.
yeah.
that's exactly kind of my point.
Yeah.
And it's interesting enough to keep a lot of people around, but I'm just kind of at the point where I'm like, fuck, I don't even think you exactly to your point. I don't even think you know where you're going with this. So I'll wait for it to completely release. Maybe I'll binge it if people say it's really good. But till then, I'm done. I've watched everything up to this point though. I haven't seen the first part of season 5, but I've seen
We
everything else.
were we talked about season 4 when it came out on this podcast. That's how long we've been doing this.
Yeah, that's insane actually.
Yeah,
How long was it between
like 3 years,
season 4 and 5? 3 years? God damn.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's way too long. Especially like so I got back into it, right? Like I was able to watch the first episode and I had enough interest still within me to reignite the flame. But
Yeah.
up until that moment, I didn't care anymore. Like I
Yeah.
had totally forgot about it. I had like
That's exactly where I'm at.
yeah. and it was like, oh, this show's Stranger Things is finally coming out. What the fuck? But no, I
talk
felt the
about it
same
like
way.
I guarantee you, if I watched one episode, I'd be like, I'm back in it,
I'm in
but it's
it
just
now.
it's the motivation to get me to watch that episode.
Uh-huh.
That's not there right now.
Exactly.
Well,
Well.
that's about all she wrote, I think. Unless
Yeah.
you got any last minute things you wanna.
I gotta get back to the fam.
All right then. Dylan, where can people find us?
They can find us right here every Tuesday around 7 p.m. Pacific time, where we stream live at you. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, come chat with us during our lives, and we can talk to you about anything nerd related you want.
Also Twitter. We
On
get
Twitter.
tweeting.
Twitter, we got some shorts going up. Pretty funny. We
Don't
thought
put
one of
that
them was funny.
One of
I
them
wear
was
shorts on Twitter.
Billy
All
shorts
right.
that he wears.
At Katie Ratio Podcast for Twitter.
Billy, since you're here, you want to do the honors?
And remember, with a good KD, you get the dub.